One common denominator in every person that's really moved the needle for our society, for the world, or for whatever humankind, there's one common denominator, and that's someone that's delusional. Someone that sees things beyond just what logic tells us we can do. And I think being delusional has become a little popularized, or it's being looked at in a different way at this time, based off other people kind of saying the word. But I want to break down the true benefits of being delusional, because it has multiple benefits in your life, not just for achieving something big, but for actually becoming a better version of yourself, for actually doing what you're meant to do in your life. Being delusional, I think, is a necessity in everybody's life if you ever want to become the best version of yourself. Okay? And I want to also break down what delusional really is and what it's actually creating and what it really means to be impossible. I'm going to go over all those things in the video through these 5 benefits. The 5th one is going to be the most important. It is the biggest reason you should be delusional. Now, this is not me in this video saying everything in your life you should be delusional with. No. Delusional is a mindset you should have in certain circumstances. It is not something to be for everything, okay? For example, I wrote this in my book, it's important to be delusional, but not irresponsibly delusional. Like, be delusional and believe you can do whatever you put your mind to, but don't believe you can do it in 2 hours, in 1 day, in 1 month. You know what I'm saying? I believe I can do anything in a lifetime, but I'm not going to put pressure on myself to make myself desperate. But that's a whole nother video, okay? Here are the 5 benefits of being delusional. I'm going to go through each of them. If you have any questions, feel free to put something in the comment section. Maybe I'll make another video about it. And my name is Jamar. I make videos helping people become the best version of themselves. So if any of that stuff is cool to you, you know what I'm saying, hit the subscribe button or not. I'm going to have fun with this video. Rock out with me. So first benefit of being delusional, you guarantee growth. One of the biggest things that I have a problem with in society and advice and what people will say to you. I remember in school they used to have us do these things called SMART goals. I forget what the acronym fully means, but I think one of the acronyms was like I forget what it is, but basically like that it's smart, like it's possible that you can get it. I think it's achievable. I don't know. But basically goals that are in the realm of logic, right? But I think any goal that you know you can reach, and I'm sorry for taking a while to figure out what I was trying to say there, but I think anytime you have a goal and it's like you know you can get it, how much is that really gonna force you to grow? I found in my life, it's in the things that make me say, man, I have no idea if that's even possible. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I possess the abilities. Everything that I've done that makes me say, I don't know if I can do that is exactly where I've had the most growth in my life. So if we only go about goals that are achievable, then when are we gonna ever grow? For example, for me, one of the things I used to do previously in my life when I didn't know like what to do with my life and what I wanted to be, you know, adults used to always tell me when I asked them how am I supposed to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, they would always tell me, Jamar, do what you're good at. And so I did math. Like I thought I was gonna be a mather when I grew up. I was just gonna do math problems. I don't even know what a career in math is like. Okay? And I'm talking fast because I get very passionate about this topic. But I took that advice and the same advice when people tell you to make SMART goals or achievable goals. And I went about it and it was cool as I was making, you know, good grades in math class. But the moment things started to get hard, I got to this class that starts with a G. I'm not going to say it. It gives me trauma by saying the full name. But once I got to this class, all of a sudden, I didn't want to do it anymore. All of a sudden, I didn't want to persevere. And what I've realized in life is in those moments when things feel impossible, when they get hard, is the exact moment where you have the opportunity to grow. So if you're only doing things so you can achieve the goal, you're never going to become who you're meant to become. It's not really about the goal. It's about who you become in the process towards the goal. Okay? It's never about the destination. It's about the process and what allows you to become. So when we understand the goal isn't as valuable as the process, the goal has to become insane. We have to be delusional. We have to go for things that we think are impossible. We have to shoot for the moon because it doesn't really matter if we make it to the moon. It matters what happens on the process of trying to get to the moon. That's valuable. Okay, that's the first thing. I think I'm so glad that was the first one because it paints the picture of our priorities. Our priorities is growing because the thing about these goals are, guys, is we don't fully know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know what our desires are going to be in the future. What if this goal you're going after right now is just a goal that life has put you on the desire for so you can grow and gain skills for a future dream you don't even know about yet? Okay? We don't understand the future or our fullest purpose. We don't understand none of that stuff. Get that out of your mind. Your job is just indulge in the process in the moment and use these goals as ways to stretch you, not as things you need to achieve. Who cares if you achieve them? If you really care about achieving these things, then it's about pride, it's about ego. What you should be really wanting is whatever's meant for you. Because what if there's a purpose out there beyond your imagination, okay? But I go in depth with that topic even more in other videos. But all I'm saying is, bro, the growth is what's going to propel you to results beyond your imagination, okay? There's more purpose, there's more results, there's more goals that you will achieve that are beyond your imagination. It's not about achieving some achievable goal. It's about becoming who you're meant to become, because that's going to inspire and change the world beyond the amount your mind can even grasp, okay? Second one, okay? It shows who, I messed it up. It shows, I'm sorry, who really loves you. One thing I've realized in life is a lot of people will support you up until a point. A lot of people love you up until a point. Okay? A lot of people will support you when it's popular to support you. A lot of people love you when it's popular to love you, but that's not love. That's something else, okay? But a lot of these people will do these things to you, but when you start going after a big goal, a delusional thing, and when you start doing things that are saying you're gonna do something that's impossible, you start to see who's really in your corner, okay? People that really love you. Because those people, what I'm not saying here is someone loving you is them believing in your delusional dream. I'm not saying that, okay? But who's still around you and supports you even if they don't even understand what you're going for? That's love. That's unapologetic love. Like, that's unconditional. That's what love really is. And so when someone doesn't even understand the vision you have for yourself but still supports you, that is dope. You feel me? And what we have to realize is a lot of our dreams, we're the only ones that's meant to understand or see them, okay? Other people will finally see them when you create it, but you have to go about the process of doing it without anybody understanding it for the most part. And so who loves you even when they don't understand you? That's dope. But some people will only rock with you when it's popular, when the vision is clear now, when everybody is loving you. But who's loving you when it doesn't seem popular to love you? And when you're going after a delusional goal, when you quit that job, when you do something unconventional, society's telling you you're a weirdo. Who's still with you when you're a weirdo? But I like to say it's the weirdos that actually change the world. So if you want to be afraid of other people's opinions, if you never want to do something that's different, if you never want to be with the fact that you may have to be alone sometimes, that other people will think you're weird, then you're never going to be able to actually grow because you're worried about people's opinions that aren't even meant for you, okay? So you have to really be able to be delusional if you ever want to see who's really with you. So I think that's a better benefit. I'd rather know exactly who loves me for me than to have all these people that say they love me and I don't even know if they really love me. Being delusional allows you to know if people really love you. Love that point. I didn't even know I was going to bring that up earlier today. Next one. You gain clarity. Remember what I said before in this one? I said there's sometimes you're going after goals, you're going after dreams that are just it's just a journey of you going after the dream, not for you to get it, but so you can become, that allows you to go about a different dream that you're actually meant to achieve. When you're going about a delusional dream, when you're going about something delusionally, you're all in. Okay, you're giving it your all. Okay, when you're delusional. When you're not delusional, you don't believe. I like to say it like this: if you have a goal but you don't believe you can obtain it, why would you give it all your energy? Because in your mind and your soul, all the action and energy towards it would be a waste of time because you don't think you're going to get it. When you know you can get something, you will actually give it your all because you see it as time well spent, okay? And so when you're delusional, you go with it with your all. And when you go with it with your all, with all your energy, you learn more about yourself. And you may learn, oh, I actually want this. You gain more clarity when you're all in with something. Because even if you don't get it or whatever happens in the journey to this goal, there's all these other aspects about yourself that you're learning that is transferable to all facets of life. And so you gain so much clarity when you're delusional because you're all in a relationship. If you don't really believe this person could be your husband or wife, you're not going to learn as much because you're not all in on the relationship. If you don't believe that this dream could actually happen, then you're not going to give it all your energy. Then you're not going to learn all these things you could be learning about your work ethic. You're just not learning because you're not even doing something that's worth your work ethic. So it's not your work ethic. You're just not doing something you care about. Okay? So it's hard to learn about yourself when you're not in places where you are yourself. Oh my goodness. It's hard to learn about yourself when you're not in places when you aren't yourself. when you're in places where you aren't yourself. Like, I don't believe in there's lazy people, there's people that don't work hard. I believe people aren't in environments and aren't doing things where they are who they are. You aren't who you are when you're doing the things you care about. You're not are who you are when you're not doing things you believe you can do. Okay? And so you need to be in places where you're yourself. And when you're yourself, you learn more about yourself. Okay? You gain clarity by being delusional. Okay? It's not just about achieving the goals. It's about learning who you are. It's about growing. It's about knowing who loves you for you. This is all beyond just achieving a big dream. This is about you becoming the best version of yourself, which allows you to achieve more dreams and goals than you could have ever imagined. Okay? But you have to be all in to gain the most clarity. Okay? So whatever you do, just be delusional. Who cares if you make it? It allows you to put all your energy in, and you learn so much about yourself. And then it allows you to be more and more efficient each and every day, each and every year, because you know what you want. You know what makes you click, okay? You have to be all in. You have to be delusional to gain that clarity. I'm spitting, okay? Somebody say he's spitting in the comments if you feel like I'm spitting, okay? Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the love. Time to get to the last two, okay? And we're not wasting no time today, okay? Your bold pursuit will inspire and gain you support regardless. I want to capitalize regardless. And the why I'm saying regardless here, you will get people inspired and you will get support regardless. What I mean by regardless is even if people don't even understand, like, bro, he ain't gonna make it, but just the fact that he going for it, I like him. You know what I'm saying? The dude is like, okay, bro is crazy, but like, I respect it. When somebody sees you going over after something that seems impossible, they may say, yeah, I don't think he gonna do that, but he gonna do something, okay? I've had people in my life tell me, Jamar, like, for example, my first camera guy, he used to like come with me to all my speaking engagements across the country. And when I was first, like, before I made any money speaking, before I even had a business, I had asked him to like do it with me, like be my videographer. And years later, he told me, you know, after I'm like successful and stuff, he was like, Jamar, I'll be honest with you. When you broke down what you were trying to do, I didn't understand half of what you were saying, but the conviction in your voice, how much you believed in what you're doing, I just wanted to be a part of it. I was like, oh my goodness, that's who he said that to me. That's the power of being delusional. Oh my goodness. People will join your cause, join your team, join and support you. People will be inspired, not by you achieving it, but just being crazy enough to go for it, okay? You being delusional enough is just like, all right, it's the crazy ones that change the world. So maybe it may not be this, but man, that dude gonna do something. I've had people say that. People be like, Jamar, I don't know what you gonna do, but you gonna do something because you was crazy enough to do that. I was like, yeah, I was crazy enough to do that, okay? Being delusional is a lifestyle, okay? You do stuff that's stupid, okay? It doesn't make sense. But we only got to be right once to be like freaking kings and queens, you feel me? And so a lot of people will complain about, and I wrote this in my book somewhere, but being right about things not being possible wins you nothing. But being right about something that's impossible actually being possible wins you everything. And you can be wrong 1,000 times, but you're right once about something that's impossible being possible, and you're a freaking billionaire. You're a freaking god, bro, because you did something that we thought wasn't possible. But what we have to realize is, and this is going to bleed into the next one, everything was once impossible until someone delusional. Dang it, I messed it up. Dang it. Okay. Everything was once impossible until someone was delusional enough to believe it was possible anyway. Everything. This YouTube video was once thought of as impossible. How could we record a moment and relive it again? That's impossible. Somebody believed in a camera. Somebody believed in the internet. Okay, so that brings us to the next one. Because you're delusional, eventually, impossibles become possible. When you're crazy enough to believe in the impossible becomes possible. Not every single one, okay? That's why we got to prioritize the growth, because I'm not going to be one to lie to you. Not every dream going to happen, baby boy, but you only got to be right once, okay? Impossibles become possible when someone's crazy enough to believe otherwise. I need you to know impossible is just a man-made concept to explain things we don't understand yet. Keyword, yet. We don't understand yet. Time travel is impossible until somebody figures it out. Everything was impossible. Cell phones were impossible till someone figured it out. Someone was crazy enough. But to figure it out, you got to be delusional because there's no game plan. You're creating a path that hasn't been walked before, but that's the funnest one because it's unpredictable. Okay? A lot of y'all are going about the path that you already know you can achieve. What fun is that? Okay? You can always go back to the predictable path, but getting the chance to do something that you really love to do is what creates impossible to be impossible. It's what allows us to change the world. It's what allows us to save the world. It's what allows us to allow the world to continue to evolve. Everything that makes the world doper and doper is a result of somebody saying, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway. You know what, I feel it in my brain, I feel it in my soul, I feel it in my intuition. If you have that feeling, if you have an idea, act on it. It was put in your mind and your heart for a reason. Be delusional about it. I don't know if y'all can feel it, but I'm delusional, okay? I fully believe I'm one of the best speakers on earth. I fully believe this book I'm going to drop in a month is going to be one of the best books of all time. Why? Because I believe it, and that's all that I need. And with that conviction is what actually makes it happen. If you don't believe you're the best, you have no chance of being the best. But you have to believe you're the best before you're the best to ever have a chance of being the best. Draymond Green says something similar. It's the delusional people that believe in the impossible that make all of us really thankful that we have things that we thought would never be possible. Do you hear me? Everything that we're thankful for. Oh, I'm so glad I get to call my mom that lives in another state. I miss her. You can call her in an instant. Why? Because someone was crazy. Guess what? The person that gave us all these inventions weren't geniuses when they were living. They were crazy people. Something was wrong with them. If people aren't saying something's wrong with you, if people aren't saying you're crazy, if people aren't saying you need to chill out, you aren't dreaming big enough and you're not going to grow to the fullest of your potential. So I need you to know if you're not being delusional, if you aren't doing things that are making people uncomfortable, if you're not doing things and saying, man, I don't know if I can do this, you're not pushing yourself to your limits. There's more out there for you. You get one life. Go after everything you want and more. If you have an idea, take it times 10 and then go for that goal because that's going to stretch you. Never limit yourself because you don't even know what you're made of. You don't even know your potential. It's beyond your imagination. But the way we can grasp a fraction of it is by believing in these impossible to be impossible. But remember, it's not meant for you to go after every impossible. Find what you love to do and through that chase impossibles. Because through going for something delusionally, it's going to be so hard, it's going to be so lonely, it's going to be so many heartaches with it. You have to really love the process. As much as I'm delusional about my stuff, I love it so much more. So regardless of the results, I can get through people hating on me. I can get through not having a lot of views on a YouTube video. I can get through whatever. I can get through all the no's. Why? Because I told myself, yes, you can do what you love to do today. And that's enough for me. So be delusional, but make sure you're rooted in who you are. And through that, everything will be taken care of. So if you want more videos on being able to become the best version of yourself, on finding your passion, or maybe creating a career or making money doing what you love to do, watch some more of my videos, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.